Welcome to the Serious Shift blogcast. We have only one question. What does Serious Shift mean to you? To answer that and much more, here's your host, Dennis Moseley-Williams.
Hi, I'm Dennis, and welcome back to the Serious Shift blogcast, episode number 115. I think we're going to have some fun with this one. This is going to be I'm going to start with a little bonus for you, and then I'll go into the regular blog 115. Here's the bonus. I promise you, weekly I am asked, where do you come up with all your great ideas? Okay, so I'm going to address that, and let me burst that bubble. What great ideas? I just have regular, everyday ideas. Okay, what's brilliant is the execution. I've talked about this before in a blog. The second thing I want to say about this is, I bet I don't come up with more ideas than you do in a day, but I'm willing to bet I lose fewer ideas than you do in a day. Where's my phone? In my pocket, of course. Let me fish it out. This is my iPhone. Smashed and broken. I never leave this thing. It's never far away from me. And whenever I have a great idea, I record a voice memo. Okay, so the idea, who cares where it comes from? I see something, I have a thought. That's just like you. The difference between me and a lot of people, and hopefully you and I and a lot of people, is I record the memo immediately, so I never lose the idea. It's not coming up with the idea, it's not losing it. So let's get right to this moment. So yesterday I'm driving up to my hometown to visit my mom, and I drive past this guy's house, and he has a car for sale in some small town in eastern Ontario, and right in his lawn he's selling a 1991 Chevrolet Caprice. Take a look. Is that the ugliest car you've ever seen in your life? Okay, so I just have a little laugh to myself like, oh God, good luck selling that thing. Like, don't you have a kid to give that to? Or did he tell you he didn't want it, right? But as I drive along, rolling up the beautiful Trans-Canada Highway, I just have a thought about like, well, what if I was General Motors right now? What if I am General Motors? And under this coronavirus thing, you know, I'm sort of under wraps and I'm working on my new car that I'm going to release. And what if you're General Motors? So this gets now to the regular blog. So my question is, every time you release a new model, what are you trying to do? You're trying to create a conversation, get something started, right? So when you release a really cool idea, a big idea, you know, when this coronavirus ends and you re-engage with your audience and you say, so this is the thinking I was doing and this is where I want to lead you, what reaction are you hoping to get from them? Now, your initial, you wouldn't be wrong, I suppose, if you thought, well, I want them to say, I love it. Fair enough, but they probably won't. What they're probably going to say, especially if you have a really good idea, is I don't get it. Or explain it to me. Oh, I don't get that. Explain that to me. Okay? That's a really big idea. If everybody sees your idea and they don't think that, then that idea is not big enough. You're not taking a big enough leap to make the big splash. So I'm seeing this car yesterday, the 1991 Caprice Classic. Like, God, I hope I'm not working on a Caprice Classic. I hope you're not. I hope I'm not going to put this thing out and just disappoint everybody with something they've seen before, you know? The only two reasonable responses anybody's going to have to a great idea is I don't get it or explain it to me. Popular, obvious ideas, they've already been had. They're not interesting, and they are commoditized. Google, just for fun, sitting in front of your computer right now, why don't you Google General Motors concept cars 1991? That's what I did. Take a look. Look at all the cool cars they had figured out on paper. And ask yourself the same question I did. Why the hell didn't they make these cars? Why would they make that car? Why did they make that ugly thing that is literally worth making fun of and it's 20 years old? You know? Older than 30 years old. Look how gross that is. I'm going to be making fun of that thing for the rest of my life. God, that's gross. And this reminds me of this meeting I took with a company called Page 2, who are going to work with me on my second book. And in their own wonderful way, when I explained the book, when I explained why I wanted to write it, they didn't say, I don't get it, explain it to me. What they said was, I see. You know what they're really saying? You don't want to write that book, Dennis. That book's been written. I already get it. Okay? So this is the warning for all of us. Don't work on anything telling yourself it's some great daring idea when it isn't. Create work that matters, that resonates, that connects, and starts a conversation. Don't be afraid of people saying, I don't get it, explain it to me. Be afraid of people overlooking it entirely. because it's not interesting enough. Make something that starts a conversation. That's what we're waiting on. Don't be the 1991 Chevrolet Caprice. Wherever you are in Blogland, be well. Thanks for tuning in today. I'll see you again.
We hope you enjoyed the Serious Shift blogcast. We would love any suggestions, feedback on topics, ideas, or challenges that may have you feeling stuck. Also, please leave a 5-star review wherever you are enjoying this content. It helps Dennis out tremendously. On behalf of Dennis and the team, see you next episode.